What is up, guys? And in this final episode of Broke on a Budget, if you like the series and you want to keep going or have season 2, smash that thumbs up button for the algorithm. It shows me that you guys want more of these episodes. And if you don't know who I am yet, my name is Peter from Broke Visionary Collective, and I help you become a better content creator. And on a Broke on a Budget series is where I take one lens, one camera, and show you what you can do, even if you don't have a darn thing. And I decided, why not, to kick off how I started the series with me one and only Nikon D50-200. And I used the one and only 18 to 55 kit lens, not the AFP, but the AFS, what is this? The AFS Nikon VR2, not the AFP, the newer one, but this one does have the buttons here. You have your manual, auto, and you have your VR switch on and off. And of course, you already know, kit lenses always got that plastic knob. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do with it. But since I started this series with the D50-200, I wanted to end with this lens. But I shall be using my Nikon, not D50-200, but my Z50. And if you don't already know, if you have a Nikon Z camera, you want to get yourself the F to Z mount, which allows you to put on your old school Nikon lenses, your legacy lenses, on your mirrorless cameras. So I'm going to be taking some photos, throw in some 4K, maybe 120 frame per second slow motion on this guy. And I'm going to show you guys what you can do with the old school 18 to 55 kit lens VR2 on a newer 4K mirrorless crop body. And one thing I already know off the bat is this lens was notoriously known to be super noisy when it comes to its autofocus. I'm just going to turn on right now, see how it sounds. Rule number 1, make sure you have a battery. Rule number 2 is also make sure you have a memory card. Why is it not focusing? So I made a really new mistake, is that if y'all want continuous autofocus, I'm so used to having the D50-200, that's how you know this guy is still new in my eyes, is that if you want continuous video autofocus, what you gotta do is make sure it's not on AFC, because that's on the D50-200. I keep forgetting that you need to have it on. So first tip is, if you want video and you want it to be continuous video autofocus, it's not AFC, that's more so for photos. Continuous is going to be full-time AF. And now you will be able to hear and see the autofocus. And it's actually not that loud. Like, yes, it's still loud, but it's not as loud as compared to when I use it and I put this guy on the D50-200. You still hear it zoom in and out, you see it telescoping, but it's actually not that loud. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. I have a subject to film in a little bit, nothing too fancy. Go on location, take some videos and photos, and like I said, smash that thumbs up if you want to see more of these videos. If I helped you, smash that thumbs up video as well, and let's go. So right now we are outside it is really overcast, I have my my torture subject here, and I'm gonna get you. There's this little point that I see here. Probably like maybe like one. Just like. So right now my settings are at. I'm gonna try to go 100 ISO, but it's really dark. I probably have to bump it up to 320 ISO. Shooting at. Let's go with 1/200. And we'll see how that looks. And I'm going for wide, and then I'll slowly go closer as I inch in. Left hip, left hand on your hip. Turn your body back. So straight off the bat, what I notice about this camera, or this lens that I'm using with it, is that yes, kit lenses are horrible. One thing I'm noticing is because it is overcast right now, I'm having to bump up my ISO, and if you watched my first video, you always want to have the lowest ISO possible for the best quality of your images. And second thing I notice is when you're shooting at 3.5 going into like 5.6 aperture, you don't really have a lot of those nice blurred background or the bokeh balls, or like the kind of the blurred background. But if you do zoom in, you do get a little bit of that compression when it comes to having a blurred background, but you're not going to get the most cinematic photos / videos with this lens, but we'll see what we can do. One of the easiest ways to take any pretty photos is make sure there's lots of trees and green. So I'm gonna get you to stand in the middle and do the same exact same poses that we're talking about.
Okay.
And I'll be shooting you. Or wait, hold up, let me try this. Okay. This is cool because you always want to have a lot of textures, so I can shoot through this. So I'm gonna set up the camera here. Okay. Okay, right there. Remember, there's a bumping down the ISO. We have one over. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do some test video. I'll be shooting in 4K, and I have my it's on autofocus continuous, so full-time autofocus. That's what you want to do. It's called AFF, not AFC. And I'll be shooting at filming at 1/50, 3.5 aperture, and 320 ISO. And I'm just getting my lovely subject over here to just stay there and try not to move. And I'm going to try to see how the autofocus is with this camera. Look at me. Let's go for a walk. Because right now I do have vibration reduction on, so there's no internal stabilization. The only thing that's causing less shake is the lens itself. I'll let you go ahead. I'll track you from behind. So you know how a camera has face detection is if you film them and there's either a white if it's a Sony and if it's a yellow square on a Nikon, and that's how you know whether or not it's properly tracking. Subject's face, super close, make you feel really uncomfortable. Stay right there, don't move. Just lost focus there because the face went out of the screen. See if I can get focus again. Or is it face priority? I might have to turn off face priority. But so far the autofocus is doing pretty well. Okay, let's get you to do something. Okay. Keep filming. So I'm gonna get you to, which shoulder is your tattoo on?
Left.
Okay. I'm gonna get you to go like this and you kind of hold it there. Found a little ridge here. So what the thing with photography is you're always looking for framing. So here we have two pillars, super simple. You put your subject straight in the middle. Get you to cross your legs.
Cross my legs. Like that.
Sit on here. Give me a queen's pose, you feel me? And we'll end the video from there. Shooting at 1/200. It's a little dark, so I don't want it to be blurry. Make sure it's in focus. ISO's at 500. So that, guys, was a wrap to this. Thanks for Tony being in this video. Be nice. You know, people are doing this to help me out, and I wanted to show you guys what you're capable with this lens. This was actually a challenge, man, because the reality is I wouldn't use an old school kit lens on this guy. Definitely hard, and I'll show you the photos right now that I actually shot. Not the best, but you know, go out, shoot, have fun. This is what I was able to do with it. No storyboard, no idea. It's really cold, and I just want to get some shots to show you guys what you can do. This is another broken on a budget episode. And yeah, man. Keep creating. I look so sexy right now. What I like about the lens is that, you know, it's not as loud compared to if you use it on your older model DSLRs. There is focusing issues because it's not, you know, a Z series lens. It's not a mirrorless lens. You have to use the adapter. That's what I noticed. And overall, I wouldn't use this lens for this guy. But if you have a D50-200, you can definitely do something, but it's not the best. But I wanted to end the series with the same lens that I started with. That was my last video on my broke on a budget series with my Nikon Z50. I started off with the DD5200 with the 18-55, and I started to end with the Nikon Z50 with the 18-55 kit lens. Let me know what you guys thought of those shots, of those videos, And obviously this is not the best combo, right? This is just for fun and giggles. And I just wanted to show you guys the whole point of this series was, yes, I started off with the entry-level DSLR, the D50-200, but as you progress, you start to see what your camera is capable of and what it isn't capable of, and it's really up to you to decide what you want to do, what you want to create. And with these tips that I made for every single video, hopefully you were able to apply something, whether that's always shooting on the lowest ISO, making sure your settings are higher shutter speed when you're shooting photos, and when you're shooting videos, making sure it's either 1/50 or 1/60 depending on your frame rate that you're shooting in, making sure that, you know, if you don't have a stabilizer, you know, you have your own handheld one right here by just using the strap, and just making sure that, you know, you go out, scout the location, look for places like shade. You don't want things like too overexposed, and don't be afraid to direct people. Don't be afraid to just have an idea and turn it into reality, right? That's what, if you're a creative, if you're a content creator, that's what you want to do in this world, man. I hope that this series inspires you, and make sure, link in the description, if you want free help, free advice when it comes to your Nikon camera, join my Facebook group. Link is in the description, BVCCO. If you want my free camera guide resource, it'll help you from A to Z, what type of budget and type of equipment that you want. Grab my free camera guide, link in the description. And if you want me to help you, I do have a paid 1-hour crash course on how you can use your Nikon DSLR. Link in the description. Follow me on Instagram. Check out all my plugs, man. You're watching a Broke Video Collective, and we all start with nothing, but you guys can always create something, and girls. It's all love.